Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show where we talk about the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Whew. Okay. Um, this is going to be a interesting run through, uh, mainly because I'm going off of the dial list for the Avengers Assembled set. I don't think we have all the cards yet and what they do. I haven't gone through everything quite yet. So I will definitely hit back up the cards. I might even make that a separate thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this all in an hour. If I can't get this all in an hour, you definitely know that their part two is coming. Okay. All right. So let's get this started. Let's start off with Black Widow with the Avengers team ability. She starts off with 5 range, 110 points. She has Avengers, Champions, Ladies, Liberators, Martial Artists, Marvel Knights, Shield, and Spy. She has Running Shot, Precision Strike, Super Senses, and Perplex on her first click. She also has Improved Movement, where she ignores hindering terrain for movement. She also has Double Agent. Black Widow can use Shape Change and Stealth. So having permanent stealth is really nice. When she uses Shape Change and succeeds, Black Widow can't be targeted by opposing characters this turn. So that's a really cool element right there. Um, just for the fact that no one else can target you with Perplex, Outwit, Prob, uh, anything. So definitely gives an incentive to run that Blue Lantern battery. I'm not quite sure about Pulse Wave because I think Pulse Wave still has to target, but I'm just doing that off the top of my head, just trying to think about that. Anyway, at the end of her dial, she has Widow's Bite. Black Widow can use poison, but may be given the free action to activate it anytime during your turn. That could be really, really awesome. Definitely after you knock somebody onto, if they had damage reduction before, you just knock them on to the point where they have combat reflexes, super senses, energy shield, and then you say, bam, here's some damage. It definitely helps compensate for the lower damage at the end of the dial, but definitely something to try to build around. Is she as good as the Age of Ultron Black Widow? It's to be debated. That trait is really what's making her points worth 110. It's up to you. I like the Age of Ultron Black Widow, not because it's Scarlett Johansson, but that is a bonus. You're also able to do a little bit more control with that piece than this piece. Next up is Hawkeye, 85 points, 7 range, 2 targets. Normally, I would have this on like a figure that I wouldn't consider. Definitely after all the awesomeness that we have from Age of Ultron, Hawkeye, but really it comes down to his traits. First off, he has ignores hindering terrain for line of fire. Then he has the first trait, line of like fish in a barrel. Hawkeye targets a single character, and when making a ranged combat attack, modify his attack value by +1. This is really great when you're using RCE from the battery or any other source, so you can automatically get possibly like a +3 to your attack. Then trick shooting, give Hawkeye a power action to place an aim token on this card at the beginning of your turn. If he has one or more aim tokens on his card, you may remove them and choose one effect that Hawkeye can use this turn. Improved targeting, ignore elevated, improved targeting, outdoor blocking, I guess, or locked range value of 14. A lock range value of 14 is really strong. Definitely if you're able to combine him with Bill, Agent, and Aim. Thunderbolt's keyword is also a bonus. Next up, I am going to look at a figure I normally wouldn't bring up, but I'm just bringing up just because it's a little bit odd. It's Alioth. Uh, just only bringing it up mainly because, like, no special powers, 140 points and 75-point option. The 75-point option is okay. You start off with Impervious, 10 attack, and 3 damage with Psychic Blast. in Indom and Flight, which is pretty cool. Your stats are just stagnant, and I think that's the main reason why you're paying so much for his dials. I just think it's something that stands out. So definitely something to think about. Next up is Son of the Serpent, 33 points. It has a trait Insight Hatred. Gives Son of the Serpent a power action and choose a color other than white that hasn't been chosen this turn for this effect. This turn, when another character named Son of the Serpent makes an attack, modify his attack and damage values by +1 for each power of the chosen color the target possesses. It could be useful to sort of buff up some damage, but their range values aren't that great. I don't know how this is going to turn out overall. They're nice little filler guys, but they really don't help you a ton. They might be great in sealed, definitely getting some little filler guys in so that you can get that enhancement on click 2 and 3. They're only 3 clicks deep, so they're easy to pot shot. Honorable mention to the Scarlet Spiders. Those potentially could be really strong. Definitely with you have another clone. Scarlet Spider can use regeneration. When he does, and the result is 1, you can choose to place him in your starting area on his starting click. So pretty much you could just start over, with the downside being, hey, you're not where you were, but it pretty much just gives you a reset, which is pretty awesome. So definitely something to think about. I want to like Hazmat, but everything inside of me says this is probably going to be a bad idea. Everything inside of me says this is going to be a bad idea and it's not going to work out in the long run. As much as I want there to be like a mini Ghetto Mystics on top of everything and then stacking the Star Sapphire ring, I just don't. I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think you're going to have a good time playing her. Next up is Reptile. I think this one is actually interesting, mainly because of Animal Man able to gain some benefits off of a character with the animal keyword. But then the evolutionary path of the amulet, Reptile can use shape change once per game. When he would be KO'd, you may instead turn the dial to click 5 or 9, even if this ability is being ignored. So pretty much if you get hit with Pulse Wave, you can come back as either Charge Blades or Sidestep with Transport, Wing Symbol, a Precision Strike, and Super Senses. So that's pretty cool. I really do like that. It guarantees that you can stay alive, a little bit longer. It gives you a stop click. That's pretty much guaranteed, and then you get to decide how you want to reset, if you want to be more of a attacker or more of a support piece. So I mean it's pretty good. Definitely for Animal. Avengers, I don't know if they need I don't think they need him as much. Probably the initiative teams would definitely need him. Going down to Echo. Echo is 96 points, which is not bad. But the main thing that you're looking at is the trait Photographic Reflexes. Echo can use Combat Reflexes. Give Echo a free action and choose a character with 1 or more action tokens within 6 squares. This is friendly or opposing and line of fire, so you just have to be able to see them. Choose a standard attack or damage power that damage power that character can use. Echo can use that power until your next turn. So that's a pretty cool effect that you can pretty much say like, hey, you have Prob or Perplex or Outwit. Guess what? Now I can use any of that. Or do you have Pulse Wave? Or do you have, not Blaze because you get Blades. Do you have Super Strength? Stuff like that. There's a lot of good stuff. Echo is probably one of those characters that, yep, you really benefit from using the Book of the Skull so you can get some move and attack on there. But other than that, I see her being used. My only problem is I don't think she's going to be as strong without a Book of the Skull. Definitely, if you want to team her up with a character with super strength, unless you want to rely on that blades. It definitely, or exploit weakness. Not so much the psychic blast. Not feeling the psychic blast. All right, next up, characters for you to look at is Triathlon. Now, Triathlon doesn't look that impressive overall, definitely coming in at 60 points, but you start off with a special power that allows you to use Charge and Flurry, 11 attack, and 3 damage. The last time we saw something like this, it was a Nightwing, and we were paying around 70 points. And we're getting 6 clicks out of this. With the upfront 3 damage, that's easily boosted to a 4, and if you're able to use like Proselyte or something, which might actually be overkill, to pick up a heavy, that could be really, really good. That could be a really good amount of damage that you're throwing down. Something to consider. Maybe not the bestest options in the set, but probably one of the most efficient damage dealers overall. Next up is 3D Man. You might be saying, you got your black character love, sorta. Main issue with 3D Man that I like is that the goggles of the first 3D Man improve targeting, ignores Henry terrain, ignores characters, and then see a person's true form and intent. Opposing characters within 6 squares in line of fire can't use shape change or stealth. So you could pretty much just shut down Batman TA, scrolls, all sorts of stuff. And then friendly characters within line of fire may modify their defense values by +2 when targeted by mind control. That's so much sort of like, hey, guess what, guys? Brother Voodoo hate, and a few others, hate. But, overall, I think it's sort of supplementary. Then the main thing that I look at is the hypersonic speed and the 3 times peak human. You can up your stats to do like a 1 really good solid punch, and then sort of back out. And you deal yourself 1 unavoidable damage when you do it. But this again is one of those situations where, yeah, hammers. Angriest hammer helps him out just because he's able to steal energy. Also, who knew? Black Lantern power battery for the win, because that has a lot of uses just because you get steal energy. All right, let's keep going. Next up is Justice. Justice is on the list for a couple of reasons. One, he's cheap. He's cheap TK, 64 points. Not the cheapest TK we have in the game, but very solid, 64 points. Then you get Telekinetic Blast on his first click. He can use Force Blast. When he does, if the knockback is ignored, deal the character 1 penetrating damage and place it into a square adjacent to the one it occupies. Now, why is this a big deal? Hey, dupe, you have charge. I hit you with an attack. I dealt 1 damage to you. Oh, guess what? I can't knock you back because you have a hammer that allows you to have charge. Well, I guess you just take 1 more additional damage. Sucks to be you. And so that's the main thing that I see. Even if you do it to Gluttony or any of the other stop click characters, you're just like, oh, you have charge, or I'm just not able to knock back you because of combat reflexes. Okay, just take 1 more damage. Boom. It's done. Now, one thing that you might want to understand that it doesn't get past is invincible, because it's penetrating damage and it's not unavoidable. So that's my only minor gripe, but it really is minor. So there you go. Something to think about if you're looking for a cheap, inexpensive option of dealing with dupe. Now, the 5 ranges sort of suck. I won't lie on that. It just is. But there's ways to augment that. Next up is Living Lightning, because triple target anything, if it has ever been a problem, I don't know what game you're playing. Running shot, psychic blast, 3 target, shape change, energy, shield, deflection. Wow, it's really awesome. Flash fry your circuits. Living lightning can use energy explosion because, again, when has triple targets ever been a bad thing? When living lightning hits an opposing character with the armor robot keyword, increase the damage dealt to that character by 2. Now, here's why this is interesting, because if you have a character with the armor robot keyword that you're targeting, you really don't want to target them. Okay, what you want to do is target the guy next to them, hit that guy with energy explosion. It'll splash and it'll do 5 penetrating damage. So yes, 80 points. That's really strong at 7 range, 3 targets. You get a second trait that says living lightning can't use a carry ability. Who cares? Don't care. I mean, again, hammers. That's all you got to do. Just hammers. You get that 12 attack and you're golden. Next up is Rage. I hope he's not black. I really hope he's not black. I never read the initiative. If he's black, I'm just going to be a little mad. Very mediocre, sort of like Hulk. I don't know if you really want to try to build towards that. Definitely with Mastermind sort of coming out of favor, I could sort of see him being useful with the Mastermind fodder guy. Definitely on clicks 3, 4, and 5, but that's about it. All right, Captain American Falcon. I don't know why they didn't just call him Captain America. That's sort of a slight, but okay. Well, again, I haven't seen the sculpt. If this is Captain American Falcon, then yeah, it's a slight because he's Captain America. Master Aerialist. When Falcon has no action tokens, Falcon may be given a move action as a free action, but can't use the carry ability during that move action. When he does, Falcon can use Close Combat Expert that turn. This is nice. A little bit of Guy Gardner for less points. And it's situational. You can't do it every turn. It gets you into the fray. It allows you to get an attack in and then possibly follow up for another attack. This really benefits if he has Exploit Weakness or Blaze Claws Fangs, or even more so Close Combat Expert from, hey, your batteries. So yeah, so this is really nice. Then he gets Veteran Combatant. Give Falcon a free action and choose one. Combat Reflexes or Energy Shield Deflection. Falcon can use that power until he chooses again. When targeted by a ranged attack, Falcon can use super senses. Now this is also a huge deal because guess what? Your Green Lantern batteries are entering back majorly into the meta. You can, at the beginning, your free action, I pick Energy Shield or Combat Reflexes, whichever works best for you, and then you just move. You have it, period. You don't have to pick it every turn, so you just have it. So that's pretty good. Definitely something to think about. 75 points. Heroes for Hire. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you done jacked up now. You done jacked up because you're allowing me to have one last go with the Heroes for Hire theme team for Origins now. In Shield, you done messed up. You done messed up. I'm not gonna go any further. All right. Next up. Where is it? Oh, Cammy, number 19. You get improved targeting, ignores hindering. You have first trait, her trait, Resurrected My Town, will ya? A theme team includes Cammy and is still a theme team if it includes a character named Drax or Drax the Destroyer. Adjacent friendly characters named Drax can use regeneration. Cammy can use Perplex, but only to target herself or Drax. This can be really nice, definitely considering we have some decent Draxes in the last few years that she could pump up. Not only that, just being able to have Perplex. It only focuses on Drax, but yeah. Then you have the anti-personnel mine. Give Cammy a free action and place a mine marker in an adjacent square. If there are 2 or less friendly mine markers on the map, even if this power is lost, whenever an opposing character moves through 1 or more squares containing a mine marker and actions resolve, remove those markers from the map and deal that character 3 damage. Now, the main problem with this is if your opponent also has a Cammy, you're still limited to on the map because they are the same type of marker. So yeah, that's a minor problem. But other than that, it allows you to zone really well. Now here, the next character that we're going to look at is sorry, let me finish the mine marker. But even if this power is lost, even when an opposing character moves through 1 or more squares containing a mine marker, an action resolve, remove those markers from the map and deal that character 3 damage. Now this isn't an attack. This can be very interesting because what happens if you just like put it underneath somebody. Also, again, dupe hate, because this is not an attack. If dupe moves from under, it's 3 damage and he's pretty much done. Also, you can mind control. If you can mind control dupe or somebody to run through these mines, oh gosh, that's just like stupid, because it's like, oh, mine number 1, 3 damage. Mine number 2, 3 more damage. Oh yeah, and I still didn't attack you, and I'm greed, so move next to me. Now you have 2 tokens. Put more mines down. Oh, you cleared? Okay. Mind control again. Walk through mine number 1. Walk through mine number 2. You're dead. So yeah, there's definitely some silly stuff with that. Brother Voodoo, Cammy, get some interracial dating going. All right, going on to this is my pick. This is my pick for the set. This is the most powerful, dumbest piece in this whole set. Rookie Justin Sephiroth. And I know everyone's like, you are on that stuff, Dark Logos. What is up with you? Every time we go through these sets, you have this pick. Nobody uses it. Blah, blah, blah. You will see. You will see and believe that this is the truth. Okay. Rebuilt from the first off, he has stealth, 10 attack, 16 defense, no damage, 0 damage, but he gets outwit and super senses. Okay, so he has this trait. Rebuilt from the ground up. When building your force, choose a friendly character with the robot keyword. The chosen character is Justin Sephiroth's Sentinel. Now, you might say, why is that a big deal? It's a huge, huge deal. It's a huge deal. Now, what I want you to do is follow with me. Go to AC Realms. Just type in Modern Age. And then I want you to go to keyword, and I want you to scroll down. Scrolls down like you're going to the corner of value in Dial H, okay? And I want you to go and click that magical word called robot, and then just hit search and watch your browser crash, because there's a couple of awesome, very awesome robots that you can just break. First off is Captain America Sentinel. If you haven't been listening to this podcast for long, that Sentinel is dumb strong. Next up is Supreme Intelligence, which I didn't even know had it, the robot keyword. So yeah, watch more stupidness coming your way. Ragnarok Korvac, Ultron Sentry, Ultron Mark 1, Ultron Prime. Let's see who else has it. Thanosai, Tyrant, Nimrod. Yeah, of course, Nimrod. Armanzol is not bad. Deathlock is not bad. Spiral, because we had to go there. Warstar, definitely Warstar. Lady Deathstrike, Amazo, Cyborg, The Grid, Shaggy Man. Cyborg, again, from the Justice League strategy game. Ladytron, Computo, Teen Titan set Indigo, Red Tornado, Cyborg again, Omac from Streets of Gotham because he's hilarious, Black Queen, Remac, and of course Brainiac from DC 10th Anniversary. And those are your modern age robots. Go back into Golden Age and watch more stupid stuff occur. okay, at your own leisure. Now, oh, I forgot to say Ragnarok. Yeah, I think Ragnarok, and that's the huge deal. And we'll come back. So if you pull this in sealed, and I think Ragnarok, and I think you'll have enough points. That's a team. That's your team. You don't do anything else. That's your team. It doesn't matter what else is in your box. That's your team. But the main element with this is that there's a lot to exploit. Definitely with that supreme intelligence. I didn't even know that. Now you're going to say like, hey, again, Dark Logos, I think you're overreacting. Again, bear with me. Let's go into it. Program in the new Prime Directive. Give Justin Sephiroth a power action if he is adjacent to his Sentinel. If my Sentinel is giant or flies, that's not hard. When he does, his Sentinel may be given a move action as a free action. And then it may make a close combat or range combat attack. So, hey guy, I have close combat expert. I mean, not close combat expert. It's like, hey guy, I have a 6 damage. I have a 6 damage, or I have a 5 damage because my name is Ragnarok. I've come to end your world. And I'm going to move my full movement of 10 with my range value of 8. And then I'm going to shoot you for my full damage. Yes, I am. Now, the one thing that they need to make clear is that does he get a token for that second part? Then he may make a close or range combat attack. Now, if that gives him an action token, still it's a hella strong TK if you think about it. If not, even more dumb, because guess what? Your favorite robots now have multi-attack. Now, again, like I said, it all depends on how they rule that, because I'm assuming that they're going to get an action token. Now, note, it just says choose a friendly character with the robot keyword. If you can give the robot keyword to other characters, I wish you could see the smile on my face, because we're going to get to that little note a little later. Next is Mechanical Tinkerer. Justin Sephiroth can use support, but only target characters with the robot keyword. When he does and the character heals, that character modifies his defense value by +2 until your next turn. Oh, you hurt me and you hurt my robot, and you can see me. I don't care. I am going to just go ahead and heal up my robot. That's all. And he's going to be harder to hit. So yeah, enjoy that. Really enjoy that. So, really good character. Definitely one of the better characters in this set. Next up is Veil, number 23. Veil has phasing, special power, energy shield, and shape change on an opening click. Smoke form, Veil can't use a carry ability. Highly toxic cloud. When Veil has less than 2 action tokens, she can use smoke cloud as a free action. When she does, deal 1 damage to any opposing character that ends its turn occupying or adjacent to one of these markers. So this is pretty nice, because it allows you to just sort of say, hey, guess what, here's a little extra damage. Also, she gets poison, which is nice, but you're really better off with like a red lantern ring or something else. If you're able to get rid of your opponent's defenses, then this is a guaranteed damage. Now, without being able to get rid of your opponent's defenses, this can be reduced. So that can be a problem. All right, next up, I'm going to mention this. I'm probably going to get so much crap, but I like D-Man, D-Man, and there's so many jokes there. He has headlock takedown. D-Man can use plasticity. When he hits an opposing character with a close combat attack, put a headlock token on their card. Remove all headlock tokens from the character not adjacent to D-Man. Characters with any headlock tokens on their card must roll a d6 when given any action. So that includes the breakaway, sidestep, Actually, even to pick a yeah, to pick an entity power, you would yeah, you would have to be given an action. Yeah, if the sorry, yeah. So the result is 1 through 3. The action ends immediately. 4 through 6. Remove all headlock tokens from the character. That's ooh, that sucks. That sucks. I you just don't get to do your stuff. So could this be a very strong element of control? Yes. At the other end, could it go really south for you? Yes. Uh, but I do think that definitely in the set we are seeing some depowering and some anti-power creep, so that's a positive. But the other end of it is to compensate for that to make these characters viable. They have given them some control elements, so that's really great. All right, so let's keep moving. I like to give a shout out to Silverclaw. Again, animal. But charge, blade, shape change, 61 points, real simple. That's it. Just real simple dial. The new Spider Woman number 28 is not bad, but it just seems like she's just got all the stuff that other Spider-Mans have had in the past, with a little bit of Madam Web dashed in there at the end, which I really didn't think was necessary. But it's something different than the 18 other Spider-Womans that we got, definitely during Chaos War. That was horrible. Now, Swordsman, this is a little interesting. Um, he has a lot of good keywords, but he has repousse when Swordsman is the target of a close combat attack, and the attacker can use Blaze Claw's Fang. Well, I'd say I didn't read that second part. Blaze Claw's Fangs, Close Combat Expert, or Precision Strike. You may roll a d6 after a successful attack, but before the damage is dealt. If the result is equal to or higher than the attacker's printed damage value, Swordsman is dealt no damage by the attack, and the attacker is dealt one unavoidable damage. So this is sort of nice, but you're very situational with this. There's a good amount of Blaze Claw's Fangs and Close Combat Expert and Precision Strike in the set, but overall in the general meta, you might have some problems. But I don't think it's horrible, but I didn't read that second part that they had to have that stuff. All right, keep on moving. Whirlwind is amusing. Again, he's not as good as Triathlon, but he can use Charge and Flurry on his opening click. He also has access to Blaze Claw's Fangs, so he has the potential to do Blaze Claw's Fangs and Flurry. And he can use Improved Movement, ignores hindering terrain, and ignores character. He also has a trait, Gustendo. When Whirlwind makes a close combat attack and hits after actions resolve, he can use Force Blast as a free action, but only to target a single hit character. So you can add a little bit of like knockback oomph damage on there, or a little bit of ping pong control if you circle around to your opponent on their backside, knock them forward towards your attacker, knock them toward a D-man and be like, hey, noogie time, So that's what's up. Oh, Power Princess, how I wish you were a lot better than what you were. 150 points. I can't like you, Power Princess. You don't do enough. Okay, let me just break down Power Princess and show you how not to design a character. Okay, so let's see. Starting off, she has no range, she has charge, she has super strength, she has invulnerability, and she has 4 damage. That's a lot of niceness, but invulnerability wasn't what it used to be. That doesn't justify her starting off at that 150 point level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 clicks deep. We also seen characters with similar stats, i.e. Coriander. And so that's where we already get some problems I already see. Like, we can get this amount of clicks of life for less. So what are we paying for? Really a lot of this damage reduction that really doesn't help out. Now we get running shot. Okay, on our clicks 2, 3. On clicks 3, 4, and 5. But then we get a special power because we have 0 range that says Razor's Edge Shield Toss. Power Princess can use penetrating psychic blast and has a range value of 7. Well, guess what? If that's outwitted, you have a running shot for nothing. So that's a problem. Definitely if you're going to assign character running shot. The Utopian deflection shield, when Power Princess is targeted by a ranged combat attack that misses after actions resolve, give the character an action token. If the attacker can't be given an action token, deal that character one unavoidable damage. And it's control, and we've seen that on a lot of different characters. If I want to, just make you sit and stew in, a pot of boiling crap that I've made with all my little cloud tokens that I put around, making you take damage, or I have poison. But overall, it's going to cause you a lot of problems. So again, not the greatest of characters. This is really not a great dial. You're looking for a lot of synthesis with other characters that are able to assign action tokens onto opposing characters easily, like Sloth, and then combining it with stuff like the Red Lantern battery so that you can get added in damage. In the don't die meta, that could be really useful if you're also able to take away their indomitable, or I'm sorry, their willpower. But that's going to be, stacking one thing on top of another, and at 150, that's not a good idea. Okay. Perplex. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is it. All right, Superior. And you might say, okay, so you hate on Power Princess, and why are you recommending Superior? Well, I think this one allows you to do a little bit more stuff here. Growing concussive charge. When Superior makes an attack and hits, place one energy token on this card for each hit character. Superior can use Perplex for each energy token she removes from this card, but only to target herself. Yeah, that's why. So you can stack up if you wait for it. You can stack up a lot of perplexes if you're able to get some sustain, mainly like charge and steal energy from Anger's Hammer. That is the huge deal, I think, from this one. This is hardly fair. To gang up on a lady, Superior can use Force Blast and Pulse Wave as if she had a range value of 6. Again, that can be outwitted. But the main thing is that if you can get her in that charge setup where she's just constantly charging and quaking, or charging and just wrecking face, just really just charging and wrecking face with a hammer, she's going to keep building up those tokens and building up those perplex charges, and she'll be powered up really fast. Next up is into the rares. Let's check our time here. Yep, we're good. We're into the rares now. So there is the Hulk. And when you look at why would you pick this Hulk, is because once you get the Avengers ID card, you'll need a cheaper Hulk. And if you're not 200 something points, you can't bring in the boss Hulk. You got to bring in somebody else. You might as well bring in this guy. So here you go. You get the trait Puny Banner once per game. When Hulk has 2 action tokens, you may give him a free action and turn him to click 11, which is the banner click. Literally, it's a banner click. Leap Smash. Hulk can use Flurry and Leap Climb. When he uses Leap Climb after action resolves, he can use Quake as a free action. So he's always doing damage when he moves. So that's pretty cool. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. When Hulk would take damage from an opposing character, instead turn the dial clockwise a number of clicks equal to plus the amount of damage taken. So Hulk isn't KO'd when he reaches a KO click unless he stops turning the dial on that click. This power can't be ignored. So you have potential to die on your banner click. Okay, great. Brilliant Scientific Mind. Hulk, your damage special power. Hulk can use Outwit and Perplex and has the standard damage symbol. So he can be carried. So yay. Next up is Jarvis. Jarvis is questionable right now because that all depends on a couple of elements. But the main reason I gotta recommend Jarvis is that for his traits. His traits are really is what saves him. There's still a few Avengers in the mansion left to help. Jarvis counts as 3 characters for determining how many ID cards can be added to your force. That's stupid. That's stupid. Definitely if you're stacking this effect of I summon in guys. And also Jarvis has a ID card. You don't pay the cost of up to 3 ID cards added to your force. Your opponent scores these ID cards normally. So you can get 3 ID cards for free. Now, you might say, hey, Edward, that's not as great as you might say. Well, let's look at it. All right, so ID card I think is like 5 points. I think ID card is 5 points. I'm going off the top of my head. So bear with me. An ID card is 5 points. Okay, so that's 15 points. So subtract 15 points. And you start to see a wonderful little fact there. That Jarvis is actually 25 points. It's 25 points. Now, would you pay 25 points for 4-click, stealth, and perplex? And just that. Stealth and perplex, Avengers TA, and the ability to have, and just stealth, Avengers TA, and perplex. Would you just pay 25 points for that? And the answer is yes, you would. Duh. Okay, then you have I tidied up. Friendly characters can use improved movement, hindering terrain, and improved targeting, hindering terrain, but only if they occupy indoor terrain. Yay, you're on an Avengers or Soldier theme team. You have improved movement, and you have improved targeting for free. I don't have to pack the spotlight, and I don't have to have Jarvis adjacent, and I get to pick map. So I'm going to pick the map that's inside. You see how this works? The heart of the Avengers. When Jarvis is adjacent to a friendly character with the Avengers keyword, reduce all damage dealt to him to 1. Oh, wow. Stop clicks. Well, no, it doesn't deal with Psychic Blast. If Jarvis has taken damage from any opposing character since the beginning of your last turn, he ignores all damage dealt by opposing characters. This power can't be countered. Oh, I took poison? Since my last turn, you can't do poison to me again. You're pulse waving my entire team for 5 Black Bolt? You can't hurt me because I'm Jarvis. Oh, all right. Let's go. Hybrid, stealth, TK, toughness, and special power. Feed on others' powers. Hybrid can use outwit once per turn. If he uses it to target an adjacent character, he may immediately use it again. Hybrid can use any standard power he has countered as long as they remain countered. So that's pretty cool. He has a trait, half human shapeshifter. Hybrid can use shape change once per turn. If the result is 1, you may re-roll it. If he succeeds in his shape change roll, heal him of 1 damage, and no opposing characters can target or deal him damage this turn. So again, you have something similar to Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. So that can be really interesting. Now again, is it the best character overall? No, these stats are okay. 96 points is a little steep, but that trait and that feed on other people's powers could be pretty useful. All right. I'm just going to talk about Captain Universe because I love some Captain Universe, and I think one of the iterations was a Black Lady. I forgot. But man, this dial. It's a slow start, and it's 165, and you're playing the White Lantern Power Battery. But, you make my heart hurt. First, you get the Unipower. The Captain, give Captain Universe a free action, choose 1, whereas other characters get to use them all. Incapacitate with 3 targets, telekinesis, or the Power Cosmic team ability. Captain Universe can use the chosen effect until she chooses again. Well, guess what I'm picking? Power Cosmic. Real tough pick. Okay. Then balance in the universe. Captain Universe can use probability control. Captain Universe may use it to re-roll a crit hit or critical miss regardless of range or line of fire. Now this can help you get protection against your opponent getting a crit hit or you getting a crit miss. And that's about it. But that's not that great. It's really not that great. And her damage output does stay pretty consistent until the end where it spikes at 4, but it's not worth 165 points. But man, I really wanted to love Captain Universe. Manifold, everyone's talked about Manifold to death. He has a lot of potentials, definitely as a super taxi. 12 move and phasing and carrying up to 3 family characters regardless of their combat values or symbols if they share a keyword with him. Leaves it very open-ended. So yeah, that's really nice. Do I see a lot of people using that? Yes. Do I see a lot of people abusing it? Yes. Definitely if you push him to click 2 so you can get probability control to help your teams out, but that's about it. Next up on the list is I wanted to love Nova so bad, but they made him so bad. Sandman. Sandman is a weird one, and he's really, really interesting. First off, he has washed away. If he ends his turn in water, he deal him 1 unavoidable damage, which is appropriate. Which I also hope they use that to lower his point cost. Then you have Quicksand and Concrete. Sandman can use Barrier and Smoke Cloud. When he uses either, you may place Sandman on the card. His terrain markers remain on the map. And at the beginning of your turn, place him in a square into which he placed one of these markers. Sandman may not be placed on this card if he was on the card during the beginning of your turn, which is weird. So he pretty much saying if you place him this turn, you can't have him disappear again off the card. He can't be in an unkillable state. Why this is awesome is that you're able to surround a non-flyer on an outdoor map or on an indoor map, surround any character, and then just be like, hey guy, you're stuck. Bloop, I'm off the map. And then they'll be like, okay. And then bloop, you come back at the beginning of the next turn like, oh, guess what, guy? I'm next to you. And take poison. Yay. So, yeah, it definitely has some advantages. Oh, Starbrand. I wish I could like the normal one. Let's look at the Prime and see if we have hope. Starbrand starts with Charge, Special Power, Impervious, and Perplex. 10 attack, 18 defense, 4 damage at 150 points. And you get Power Cosmic. Has a trait called the Pit. When a Starbrand is KO'd, roll a d6 that can't be rerolled. Minimum result 2. Deal 3 penetrating damage to all characters within that many squares. Oh wow, I can screw my own team. And then choose another friendly character. That character modifies its combat values by +1 this game. Oh, you killed my Starbrand, but I also killed my own team. Yay. Attack, Minor Explosion. Starbrand can use Quake. When he does, before rolling the attack, you may choose to replace his damage value with 1 instead of 2. And if you do, damage dealt is penetrating. So that's nice. Major Explosion on the damage power. Give Starbrand a double power action, deal 2 penetrating damage to each other character within 2 squares, and destroy all blocking terrain within 2 squares. Again, I can hurt my own team. Now, I know someone's going to say like, oh, this is what I need to activate blah, blah, blah to make them do this on Bizarro Tournament. Yes, you do that. You just do that. But other than that, no. This is, I was hopeful, but it's not that great. Cersei is fun for standard meta, not for sealed. Like for sealed, she is definitely one that you do not want to use. I'm just going to say that. Other than that, she's pretty cool. She has some workarounds, but the main thing you're looking at is that whenever your stats would be modified by the resource, then they get decreased instead. That part is pretty cool. So I don't know how it's going to work with the constructs, but I would really like to know. All right. Abyss had so much potential, but I'm not going to do this. Okay, here we go. This is my second, like, dude, you got to buy this. You got to get this. Arcade. Minions of Doom, 7 range, 70 points. First off, this is a big sort of Lydia Maller FU. Welcome to Murder World. When rolling to determine the first player, no player receives a modifier to their roll. When on a map whose name includes Arcade Arena, at the beginning of the game, you may start Arcade on click 7. If you do, Arcade has the power Cosmic, can use movement, ignores hindering, and other friendly characters have the robot keyword for the rest of the game. You see how this is going. Okay, now you might say, I have a 50-50 chance of making my whole entire team robots. Why is that important? Well, let's go back to our Sentinel friend, who allows you to pick a friendly character on your force that has the robot keyword, and then they are your Sentinel. Now you might say, well, Dark Logo, does that mean that I build a team with no robots? No, because again, this doesn't work. If you roll off and your opponent gets it, then yeah, it sort of sucks. But here's the thing. If you do get it, you have a backup character, which is a way more powerful robot. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, next up, he has a special power. The special powers are really what's awesome. His standard dial is sort of meh. It's useful, but it's not as great as it could be. It's the special dial is what's up. I control Murder World. Sucks to be you. Arcade can use Energy Explosion and Precision Strike. If Arcade occupies a player's starting area, he can draw lines of fire and count range for his attack and damage powers from the square of any friendly character. So he's Professor X. He turns into Professor X. This is my world. You're just living in it for now. Arcade ignores poison and all but one damage dealt to him from an attack. So yay, I pretty much have a stop click. Even if you pulse wave me. If after Arcade has dealt damage from an opposing character, you may place him in any square within any player's starting area. This power can't be ignored. Oh, y'all are on the other side of the map? That's fine. I'm on click 2 of my special dial. I'm going to go where your battery is, and I'm going to attack your battery. I'm only going to do 1 damage, but that's okay. I get to annoy you. Oh, and I have probability control, so I can use probability control through my buddies. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, like, get Arcade. Because if it doesn't go off, you have a Mind Controller Poison, Mastermind Perplexer. If it does go off, you have one of the most annoying characters in the game right now. Black Swan has to be mentioned because everyone's going to talk about her, and it's like, oh my gosh, you failed to stop the incursion. That's really it. That's all she is 130 point of you failed to stop the incursion. Unless this click is revealed due to taking damage from an opposing character, which is weird. It says unless this click is revealed due from taking damage from opposing character. So almost like you have to get on it. Immediately deal Black Swan one unavoidable damage. So if you push onto it, sorry, you had to get on. If you push onto it, guess what, homie? You immediately die. So it doesn't do anything. At the beginning of your turn, if Black Swan is the only character on your force, KO all opposing characters. This power can't be it can't be ignored. Now, here's why this is dumb, and this is why you don't want to see this. There is one thing I can think of that can make this stupid, and that is a White Lantern power battery. Now, there's some other elements that come down of, can you OMA this? And looking at your six clicks, and it would be easy for your opponent to miscount or misplay and easily knock you on to your last click. But man, if you could OMA this and be like, I either win or we roll off, that could be really strong. The question is how, and I don't know how. Maybe somebody will figure it out. Okay, let's keep going. Just for giggles, Master Pandemonium. He has Mystics, 5 range, 129 points. Hellfire Club. He has Running Shot, Psychic Blast, Invulnerability Prop. I wish they would make it so that you can put these guys on the Hellfire Club team base or stuff like that. Demonic Arms. Give Master Pendulum a power action when there are no other demonic arms placed by him on the map. Place up to 2 demonic arm tokens as described on the back of the card on the map within 5 squares in line of fire. For each of these on the map, Master Pendulum modifies his attack by -1. When one of these demonic arms is KO'd, roll a d6 on result 3 through 6. Deal Master Pendulum 1 unavoidable damage. So you have a 1 in 3 chance of not taking damage. That's sort of risky. But here's the cool thing. These arms have phasing and poison, and they're tiny size, and they have exploit weakness. So they're not all suck. I mean, that's pretty good. Give the demonic arm a hammer for a turn, and boom, there you go. Watch it quake with a to watch it quake. Anyway, Trick Shot. You've listened to enough podcasts. You already know he's pretty decent. It's just the issue of cost. Team him up with his brother. They on a Thunderbolts team. Yay. All right, let's go into super rares. Captain America. I don't know which Captain America this is. I really would like to see a picture. 150 points makes me cry because I don't think a Captain America ever should be that many points. But oh well. You have shield deflection angles, improved targeting, ignores outdoor blocking. That can be really good. It's an Avengers world, Captain America and adjacent friendly characters with a lower point value. And the Avengers keyword can use leadership, which is, that's not good. If they are named Iron Man or Thor, they don't have to be adjacent or lower point value. And that's not that great. Leading by example, Captain America uses energy shield deflection. When another friendly character with the Avengers keyword uses leadership and the result is 6, remove an action token from Captain America. That's not bad. It allows you to use the first trait to feed onto your own offense, but your damage output really isn't there. Super Soldier Serum, Captain America used Close Combat Expert and Empower. Again, 150 point melee attacker support piece. That's not that good. Getting the traits on the 75 point version a little bit better. But then you're also looking at a situation that most characters are not going to be lower points than you. So, yeah. Then you have Iron Man, which we've already seen. He's okay. I know some people might say, but Dark Logos, he does 5 damage. And I'm like, yeah, he does 5 damage. That's cool. We got a couple of characters in the set that do 5 damage. It's just his cost is way too high, and we have better Iron Mans in the set. I mean, Iron Mans recently. Like, I hate to really say it. This set is pretty much just pooped on by Age of Ultron. It just is. The movie sets are way better versions of the characters, like all of them. are just way better than all of the Avengers assembled versions. It's not that they don't have places in the meta of the Avengers assembled versions, but if most people had to pick, you end up picking the Avengers assembled ones for very niche roles, and that's a concern. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm at Red Wolf. It's been an hour. I'm going to cut it here, and then we're going to come back and finish up the set, okay? All right, if you don't get into, if you listen to the other one first, okay, cool. You listen to it all. If you listen to this one first, of course, there's part 2. You can check me out on Twitter. It came from outer space. You can follow me at StartOverPod. It came from outer space, and told me, man, you need to go to bed. It's late. You can find out my random musings there, and all sorts of interesting stuff. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. And last but not least, you can check out the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. When everything's in the unit section, then I'll post everything up on the buy list, and you'll see the buy list there soon. Okay, that's it, and I'll see you in part 2.